If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing it's because you love to read. I love to read too, especially a sweet little romance, but man, a sweet little romance is hard to find. Most of the romances I pick up are full of sex scenes, bad language, and all kinds of other junk that I really don't want to read. Over the years, I have spent hours in the libraries looking for good books, and I've been able to whittle down my list to about 5 or 6 of really great authors who have clean romances and some actual substance to the stories. So if that's something that you think you would enjoy, then I hope you'll keep watching and you'll love these stories as much as I do. Okay, the first author I want to tell you about is Richard Paul Evans. And you may recognize his name because some of his books have been made into movies. So that may be why it sounds familiar to you. This book, A Perfect Day, is a really great story. It's been a while since I read it, but it's all about a man named Robert Harlan and his wife Allison, and he's a writer, but he's never been very successful at it. He's been always working his day job. And anyways, he writes this story, it totally takes off and transforms his life, and he becomes kind of like I think he becomes like a New York Times, like #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And so it really changes his life, as you can imagine. And as it does, he kind of loses sight of what's really important. It takes you on the journey of what happens and puts him back into the right perspective and frame of mind. And it does have a happy ending. That's what I like about most of these books. Actually, all of these books have happy endings. I'm not a sad ending kind of girl. There's enough sadness and hard times in life. This next author is probably my very favorite. This is Melody Carlson, and I started reading her about 2 years ago, and I have not been able to stop. I think I have read almost every book that she's written. She does have a Christmas line of books too, so if you love Christmassy books and the holidays are coming, then definitely check her out. This is the first book I read of hers. This is Christmas at Harrington's, and it's all about this lady named Lena. Now, Lena is, or was, a minister's wife, and her husband embezzled a whole ton of money and then let her take the fall for it. So she has just finished serving 8 years in prison for something she didn't do. And she has a brand new start in a brand new town where she knows no one. And she's trying to figure out how to navigate life without revealing, her secret, like kind of where she's been. So really great story. All of these books, like I said, have happy endings. And this one's a really quick read because it's so short. So you can probably read this in a couple of hours. You know that you love the author when you accidentally pick up 2 of the same author's books from the library. So I don't own any of these books. If you are looking for a way to read free books, then you need to check out the Libby app. This is not sponsored, but I use the Libby app on a weekly basis. It's a free app you can download, and you can actually connect your library card to it, and then you can get books for free from your local library, and you can send them either to your Kindle app or you can read them right in the Libby app. So check that out if you like free books. Anyways, so this story is a little bit lighter than some of Melody's other ones, but this is about Tia, and she's a chef, and she ends up going out to San Francisco to help her aunt fix up this old boat and make it into a floating restaurant. How cool is that? Anyways, and when she goes to the airport, who should greet her but one of her aunt's employees, who happens to be a guy that she went to camp with a million years ago, and they had a little summertime romance and a goodbye kiss, and she's kind of so excited to rekindle things with him when she first meets him, kind of like a dream. And then she discovers he has a fiance. I'll just leave it right there. You can let your imagination go with that one. Hey, will you take a minute and down in the comments, will you tell me if there's some other clean romance writers that you love? Because I'm always looking for more books to read, and I'm sure that others that are watching are too. So put those down there so we can get a good list going. The next author I wanted to mention is Debbie McComber, and you may know of the Cedar Cove series. It was made into a TV show, probably 10 years ago on the Hallmark Channel, but it was really good. And that came from a series that she wrote. And this book actually takes place in Cedar Cove too. And it's all about this young widow who opens a bed and breakfast, and the whole thing is kind of how she's able to, have a fresh start and rediscover who she is on her own, as well as while she's helping the people that are staying with her too, because they all come there sort of for an escape from something, sort of like a, I'm lost and figuring out what I'm doing with my life kind of story. The Bridge is a great book. I just love the cover. Isn't it pretty? Like, that's what sometimes gets your attention, right? You know, you say you can't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. And this is one of them. This is a really great story. Karen Kingsbury is a Christian author. So if you're not Christian, you could still read them and enjoy them. Her characters do sometimes pray to God. So if that's something that bothers you, then maybe you skip over it, or maybe it's not for you. It's about this young couple that fall in love and then they split apart, and they used to always go to this little bookstore in Middle Tennessee, and that's where I am. So, you know, I'm a little partial to this one. But it's surrounding the bookstore has this huge flood, and the bank is going to withdraw their loan. And so the couple that owns it, they're older, they're trying to figure out what to do, and they weave that young couple back into the story. But Karen has some great stories. The Baxter series or Baxter Family is probably her most famous series, and there are tons of books to go with that one. So I love it when it's a series because I feel like you have something to look forward to, like you can just keep on reading. Last but not least is Donna Van Leer, and her books are primarily Christmas themed, so great for the holidays coming up. And this particular book is all about a girl named Lauren, just like me. So Lauren was in foster care. Her mother left and she doesn't really have the whole story. She's always kind of dealt with not feeling like she has a place and being kind of lonely, and she lives alone. On her way home from work one night, she takes a detour so she doesn't have to go back home so soon and be by herself. And she witnesses an accident. And then she gets woven into the story of this town and really into the fabric of people's lives. And this town kind of adopts her, if you will, and makes her feel loved and welcome and needed. And there's a few other little twists and turns in this one, so I'll leave it at that. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because that helps me know that you like these kinds of videos. I will be doing a part 2 all about cozy mysteries, which is my second favorite genre. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And on your way out, don't forget to check out all of my other videos. I have a pretty wide variety of videos on my channel. So I hope to see you in the next one, and I'll catch you then.